The thing I most love about Philly, and it's why it's a great place to host a show, is because they give a shit like this. That whether you're 0-4 or whether you're 4-0, Eagles fans, the media, someone will always find a controversy to talk about in this city. I'm sure everyone almost saw it, but if they haven't, um, Jalen Hurts yesterday after his 10-minute press conference told the media that basically they were taking the Arizona Cardinals too lightly and that he was not asked any questions about the Arizona Cardinals, and basically the LeBron James in the finals walking off with the briefcase, be better tomorrow. Um, Obviously, people on Twitter who are not the media took Jalen Hurts' side. He's a 4-0 quarterback in this city. You came out with a video of your own that I know got a little bit of pushback from people.
Yeah.
Here's what I kind of think before we get into you. In Jalen Hurts' eyes, they're all rat poison. You mentioned that in the video. Nick Saban has always preached that. And Jalen Hurts has taken that from Alabama to Oklahoma to now the Eagles. The thing with me, though, is where I kind of see and I kind of agree with Hurts is we had 4 questions on the Manning cast. We had one about Ertz. We had one about Kyler Murray. One guy asked him about the fucking wing tee. Like, what the fuck does Jalen Hurts care about Tubby Raymond and the wing tee? And then we got 2 questions about Tom Brady. The beats were kind of just all over the place. I know you've talked about this before in different senses where it was like we had 15 minutes with Markelle Fultz. We can't be asking bullshit questions and stuff. Now, this is different. You get to talk to this guy every single week.
Yeah.
I think mostly the Hurts comments after the press conference say more about him than it does about the media. I think he's focused. I think he's the perfect QB to have when your team is 4-0. I think it's a lot harder to do extra reps or watch extra film when you're 4-0 versus 0-4. So when the leader of your team is doing it, it kind of makes the other guys want to do it too. So he's kind of nipping it in the butt, bulletin board material kind of and whatnot. But, and again, you said it was kind of a nothing burger. So what did you kind of think of this whole, I don't know, nothing burger on a Wednesday?
Wait, is that like you're saying nipping it in the butt?
See, someone else yelled at me. It's nipping it in the bud. It's always going to be nipping it in the butt to me.
The butt, but did you like grow up saying that, or did people around you say that growing up? Nip it in the butt.
All intensive purposes, or all intents and purposes.
All intensive. Yeah. No, it's just I just find that funny. I don't. If we have the video, we can play it. I'm not sure if we do, but
which one? The Jalen Hurts one, or the
just him. So unprompted after the midweek press conference, he gets up and says that we're blah 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 about the Cardinals. They're a good football team or whatever, like paraphrasing, right? And we don't want to set up. What did he say about a precedent? We don't want to set a precedent for.
Yeah, we're taking these guys like too easy, basically. That's what it kind of was like. They're a good team, which I kind of agree with.
There's a leap in logic there because just because the media didn't ask him about the card. Okay, here we go. Let's see if we can get the audio to play here.
No, we can't because Dave's behind the screen. So we kind of just got to go by ourselves. So what I really want to know is like you're the big J. You're the big J on the program. You've covered the Union. You've covered the Sixers. Take kind of the approach from like a beat perspective when you'd rather ask Manning cast questions than you would ask about the Cardinals on a Wednesday in October.
I don't know if the questions that he got in this press conference were amazing necessarily anyway. Like, it's just kind of, I personally, like, if I could go really macro here, I think the midweek press conferences are kind of useless. The best quotes.
Would you say that a majority of press conferences are useless during the season?
The midweek ones definitely are.
Okay.
The best stuff that you typically get, like if you look at like arbitrarily rank like the best quotes that you get from players and coaches throughout the season, you would say right after the game, post game. You would say day after, right? Because it's still fresh. You're asking about specific instances that happened in a game. And then you would go to like individual, maybe national media kind of interviews where it's a one-on-one kind of thing, or you get exclusivity. It's not like a scrum and it's not people yelling over each other to get questions in. So like Nick Sirianni on McAfee's show yesterday, like he's a dog, like you get like good stuff out of that too. But like, the midweek press conferences are weird because you're kind of too far away from the game you just played to ask more questions about that game. Sorry. And then you're probably too far away from the Arizona game for anybody to really give a shit. You know what I mean? So there's like multiple layers here, but my like problem with it, or the thing that like bugs me, is like some of these fans say, "Oh, Jalen Hurts like really, like gave it to the media. He told him what was up." I'm like, okay, it's not. The reason that I think that they didn't ask about the Arizona Cardinals games because nobody gives a shit because Hurts isn't really going to say anything interesting anyway. Um, hey, what do you think about the Cardinals coming up? Well, they're a good team. We're going to take them seriously. We're looking at the film. We got a lot of work. I mean, like 99 times out of 100, that's a question that doesn't really get much of an answer anyway.
Would
But
you
if
agree
you ask
that there could have been better questions though, where it's
yeah.
like a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of lot of injuries on the line? How do you think it'll affect your timing back there? Or hey, JJ Watt got his heart shocked. Do you think he's a
Yeah.
football guy because he's
Yeah.
risking blood clots over the health
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
safety of him?
yeah. No, I mean, if you ask specific stuff, if you can formulate something where it's like hey, they like to go, 5-2 overhang and they line JJ Watt up. I'm just making shit up. I don't know if they do
Yeah,
it or not, but they go 5-2 overhang and they move JJ Watt around, but they also have that box safety coming down. I mean, what do you see from them in film? You can try to get more specific stuff out of them. You ask more detailed questions, but more often than not with Jalen, he doesn't really give you a lot of that anyway. So I think
but
the
he no,
beats are
but he had.
probably operating.
But what about the Giants game last year? You
Yeah,
always come back and you reference
yeah,
this clip where it's like he gave a great. It was the Giants game last year. He missed Dallas, got it wide open. The end zone gave to Quez Watkins. They kick a field goal, could have put him in the ass and ended up not doing it. But he talked about
yeah.
the 7 brackets and breaking it down.
He gave an
He,
amazing detailed
yeah,
explanation of that, but you know what happened, Pagan? Like a bunch of people just came out and said, "I don't fucking believe him." So it's like
that's
you
true.
can't have it both ways. Like we've been working, I don't not we. I'm not an Eagles beat. I'm saying like the media has been working on Jalen Hurts to try to get him to open up a little bit more because he comes from the Nick Saban school of like the media's rat poison and this is a distraction and whatever. I think he's like a little standoffish with the media, even though he's not like sitting in front of like the January 6th commission, right? I mean, like he's taking questions from like Jeff McClain and Zach Berman. And like for the most part, like the stuff that they ask him is pretty benign. Like it's not
Yeah,
challenging or difficult or what. So but he seems kind of like distant from that. So Jeff actually got that really, really, really good quote out of him last year. He was like, hey, we had 2 brackets here. My second read was here, blah, blah, and this whole detailed thing. And then a bunch of fans just said, I don't believe him. He's just making that shit up. So it's like, oh my God. I mean, like we finally got something amazing out of him. And then people are just choose not to believe it. So my problem is like people telling the media like how to do their job or like you got to ask this question, you got to ask that question. Like I don't think the questions that people asked in that press conference yesterday were amazing, but I know that Arizona question is typically like a throwaway question every week. Andy Reid used to go up there every week and say like, we look forward to the challenge of playing the Cardinals and blah blah. Like you're really not going to get they're not going to give away anything amazing. Like, hey, we're going to attack, the free safety because his lateral range sucks ass. Like, they're not going to give you any of that kind of stuff. You can
true.
try to get more specific stuff and better out of it. But like Jalen Hurts isn't teaching the media like a lesson. They can ask whatever the hell they want to ask. The questions weren't amazing, but at the same time, like we're not like lacking because nobody asked him about the friggin' Arizona Cardinals.